Hello guys, welcome back to the full stack web development course where we will be discussing about React.js, Express.js, Node.js, MongoDB, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Axios, Redux, and a lot of stuffs. So at the end of this course, you will be able to create a full stack application like a Stack Overflow clone from scratch. So in the past lectures we have discussed about HTML basics, CSS, and now we are going to just jump into JavaScript. So first, what are the outcomes of this lecture of the series of lectures about JavaScript is like we're going to just see about the introduction and variables, statement and output, also about data types because data types are a preliminary concepts when coming to a programming language or any scripting language, and we are going to just see about operators like comparison operators and other operators, also logical operators, etc. And we are going to see about conditional statements like if, else, else if, like so. And we're going to just see about switch cases, as well as we are going to see about looping statements like for, while, for each loops. And we are going to discuss about how to write a function. There we will be discussing about the arrow functions also. At the end we will be going through about DOM. So DOM is an essential thing when it comes to a JavaScript developer. So in this lecture we will be discussing about the first three topics, and the next lecture we will be discussing about other three, and the last lecture we will be discussing about the DOM. So let's do this. So introduction. So JavaScript is one of the world's most popular programming language. Well, it's a type of programming language called scripting language. What are scripting language? Scripting language is a type of programming language designed for a runtime system to automate the execution of tasks. So, do you need to install JavaScript to run JavaScript programs? No, you don't want to, because already you have installed JavaScript because you may be familiar with using any browsers like Safari, Google Chrome, Edge, or Mozilla Firefox, like that. So every browser uses JavaScript, so it is already installed in your laptop or PC, so you don't want to install it. JavaScript is the programming language of the web because you can do client-side scripting with JavaScript, but nowadays, with the help of Node.js, you can also do server-side scripting. And JavaScript and Java are completely different languages, both in concept as well as in design. Many have thought that Java is same like JavaScript, but it may be syntactically it may be same, but it is a different pick compared to Java. JavaScript was invented by Brendan H in 1995 and became an ECMA standard in 1997. ECMA 262 is the official name of the standard, and ECMA script is the official name of the language. So instead, I'm not going to call no more JavaScript, so I'm just going to call it as a ECMA script hereafter. So it's just a joke. So let's go to the other topic. So the next topic is about variable declaration. So in variable declaration we have three types of we can declare a variable in three types. We can use var, let, and const. All JavaScript variables must be identified with unique names, and these unique names are called identifiers. If you are familiar with any other programming language like Java, Python, C, or C++, you might know how to declare a variable because it may consist of only lower and upper cases as well as numbers. And it may also have a dollar sign as well as underscore, but it should start with a uh, lower or an uppercase. The variable must start with a lower or an uppercase. So we will first see how to declare a variable using var, let, and const. So here this is where we worked for the past lectures. I have put every files inside a directory called HTML CSS tutorial like so, and I have created another index HTML file, and I have used our exclamatory enter shortcut to create this boilerplate code, and I have used an h2 tag inside that. I gave an ID which equals demo to demonstrate the basics of JavaScript. So how you can basically use the JavaScript in HTML. So there's a tag called script. So hit enter. Yeah, VS Code just auto completes. So in this browser, our live server is running. You can see the IP address here. So now inside the script, we can write something like const. Sorry, let me just start with a var equals name. Sorry, var name. So this is how you can declare a variable. Instead of var, you can also use let. So let can also be used, but if you use let instead of const, if you use const instead of let, you have to assign a value to this variable like Manoj, because const, if you declare a variable with the help of const, you have to assign a value to it at the beginning, and you couldn't change this value anymore. You couldn't change this value of name as Manoj to any other name like Ram, like that. You couldn't change that because this name is now a constant variable. Since this is a constant variable, you couldn't change the name. So, or else you can also initialize variables using var, like last name as well, and you can also use let first name like so. After declaring the last name and the first name variable, you can just assign value for both of that. You can do last name equals to Kumar and the first name equals Manoj, like so. So what's the concept here? Using var and let to declare a variable, you don't want to initialize the value at the start. You can change the value at anywhere in your code, but if you initialize it with a const, you have to just maintain it with the same value. You couldn't just reassign any value to this variable name because it is a constant variable. So now let me just clear these things because we don't need that. So we will go to the next slide. This slide all talks about variable declaration. So the next thing is all about statement. A computer program is a list of instructions to be executed by a computer. So in a programming language, these programming instructions are called statements. A JavaScript program is a list of programming statements. So you can see here I have initial declared few variables like x, y, z with the help of let. So x equals 5, y equals to 6, and z equals x plus y. These individual statement lines are nothing but statements. So every line in a JavaScript program is nothing but a statement. So output, how we are gonna just display the output while we are processing JavaScript to the user as well as the program. So how would we do that? There is three things how we can do that, we can use inner html or document.write or window.alert or console.log. So we won't be using document.write or window.alert because they are not that much useful, but we will be using alert function in our live project. So we will get that when we are developing a live project, and in the we will be using inner html to demonstrate while in the demonstration process of javascript, and no longer we will be using inner html. And this console.log, which is the major thing that we are gonna look into while we will be developing the live project. We will use this console.log while we are developing the live project. So so we will just see how to use inner HTML or console log. So here let me just do document dot inner HTML. So I think we couldn't use it like that. So to demonstrate that, we will select this ID and we will put a value inside it like hi, like this. So you can see hi is now here, but I want to put this hi inside this h2 tag using this ID through JavaScript. We will see how to do that. We will just eliminate this hi, and now see the JavaScript. We will declare a variable called const demo, and we will be selecting this h2 tag through this id. So we can just say like document dot select, sorry, get element by id, and inside that we'll be giving demo. So what I have done here, this document is nothing but this entire html code. We have already seen that this html is nothing but an html document. So this document selects the entire html document. Inside that I'm just going to get the element by the id, get the element which has this id. Which element has this id demo? This h2 tag, this h2 element has the id called demo. So now we have selected the h2 tag using this demo variable. So now I'm just going to say demo.innerhtml, which equals a string of hi. So now you can see in the browser that the hi is in the browser. Let me just open. So you can just go and see the source code of any page through this inspect element in the browser. So I have opened that inspect element. So now here is our entire HTML document. You can see whatever is present here will also be present here. Inside that body tag, we will be having this h2. Inside that we do have hi, but here we don't have any hi in h2 tag. We do have, but we do have it here. This is because we have used JavaScript program to give this hi inside this h2 tag. We will see how to do these things on the go. So now the next thing we are going to see is nothing but document.write. So this document.write. So for to write a document, we can just say like document dot write of hello, like so you can see here's an hello, but it has no tags. You can see in the source. Let me just extend this. Okay, to extend that I have to extend this and I can maximize this. So if you just see here is something called as hello below this script, because we didn't give any tags or elements inside this hello. We will just give a h1 tag. For that I'm just going to say this is going to be h1 and this is a closing h1 tag here. So now you can see now this hello is inside an h1 tag. You can see here, here's an h1 tag inside. Or we have an hello. This is how we can use document.write as well. So let me just close this down as well. Let me just minimize this. So now let me just demonstrate the next thing called window dot alert of, let me just say, hola. So you can see while our web page is loading, it just alerts that hola. Let me just close. So that's all. That is all about. That's how we will be using window dot alert. So the next thing, let me just uncomment this or else it will show many things like this. So that's what I need to uncomment this. So to comment this line of code, we can just use a pair of slashes. So or else you can use my shortcut like control or command slash, that's all. So then the next thing is nothing but console.log of hi. So let me just go to the inspect element and go to the console. So just to be here, so this is because maybe let me just refresh. Nothing is here because console.log of hi. This is because I am using Safari browser, that's why there's a bit of problems. Let me just give all. So see here, so here I have just applied a filter for evaluation as well as errors. So if I just click all, so here we do have the hi as console out in the console log. So we will be using console log to sort many errors as well as printing many statements for our reference, for the developer's reference, not for the user or our client. So let me just close this and minimize this. So we don't need these things anymore. Let me just comment these things like so. Now we will jump into the next slide, and then data types. So data types is a big and a large topic in any programming language, because if a programming language is live, it will have certain data types of its choice, because without data types you can do anything, because a computer must understand what type of data it is, what we have provided, what type of data it is. So a data type is a classification of data which tells the compiler or interpreter how the programmer intends to use the data. That's the actual definition. So in JavaScript we have four types of data, and we do have many other, but I am covering these four things only. The first thing is about number. The number is nothing but all types of number, which includes int, float, and double, short, as well as long int, short int. It covers every uh, number data type. So in JavaScript, we won't have separate data types as in C or C++. We have many individual data types there, but we do have one larger data type here called number. And the second thing is nothing but string, and the third thing is arrays. You must be familiar with arrays if you are familiar with any one of the programming language as well. And the last thing is going to be objects. So we will just jump into numbers. So JavaScript has only one type of number. The numbers can be written with or without decimals. The numbers with decimal is called a float. A number without a decimal is called an int. So this is a basic concept in a language. So this is just a simple example that let x is equals to 3.14, a number with decimals, and let y is equal to 3, a number without decimals. Unlike many other programming languages, JavaScript does not define different types of numbers like integers, short, long, floating point, etc. So that's what I have mentioned earlier. So JavaScript numbers are always stored as double precision floating point numbers. So double precision floating point number is nothing but its length or size may be up to 8 digits. If it exceeds 8 digits, then it will override something. So that's what the main thing all about. And the last thing we are going to see about is number methods. So we're going to just look into what are all the number methods available. So now the first number method we're going to see is toString. So let me just demonstrate that. So we'll just say let num which equals 10. So this semicolon is nothing but a syntax, but if you want to write multiple statements in a line like let a equals 20 like so, you can use this semicolon. But if you want to write one statement in one line, you don't need this semicolon because it won't throw an error like in C or Java or C++. If you miss this semicolon, it will throw an error, but here it won't be a problem anymore. So let me just extrude this. So let num equals 10, and we will just say, so let me just print the type of the num. So we don't want to see it here. Let me just go to the index, inspect element, and go to the console. So let me just extend this and this, and it shows on. So here let me just have a console.log. So you see that the type or data type of this number is nothing but a number. So the data type of the num variable is nothing but a number. It shows it is a number. So of course 10 is a number for us. If we want to let me just say 10.2, it is also gonna be a number. So wait, so you can see it is also a number, there's no change. So if you can say just like anything inside double quotes or single quote, it shows it is a string because this is nothing but a string data type. So let me just leave it as 10, and you can see the type of num is nothing but number. Then what I can do, I can just num dot toString. There is a method called toString, and if I just assign this value to another variable called string which equals num.toString. Now let me just console log the type of str, type of str. So you can see now the type of str is nothing but a string. So this is what the magic to. So if you just use toString with a number, it returns a value of string. If you just store it in a variable, you can just see the output, which is nothing but a string. So that is what I need to show it here. So let me just have some comments here too, so that you can understand it easily. So here, let me just leave it as output demonstration as well. So here I will just leave another enter. So this get element by id is something related to the DOM, which we will be discussing in the later part of this course. So these things are all about number methods, like so. So let me just before commenting this, let me just see the um, other value, other number methods too. So the next thing is all about going to be two exponential. So before that, let me just comment these things, and let me just comment this also. So now the next thing is two exponential. So now we can just say console dot so instead of console login, we will just put everything inside this demo. So I have already told that we will be using this inner HTML to output everything. So let me just copy this and let me just paste it here. Let me just ignore this. Instead of num dot to exponential, so you can see here is something like 1 plus 1, which is nothing but 1 into 10 power 1, which in turn means 10. So 10 is written as 1e plus 1, which is in an exponential form. That's what to exponential function means. So you can just also use 2 as a value for this parameter. So it shows in the it just adds two values extra to this point. That's what it means. And you can also add 4, so it shows 4 values, or 6, it shows 6 values. That's what its purpose is all about. And the next thing is to fix it. So to fix it may be used to round off a number. So let me just comment this, and I'm just gonna say number methods. The first thing is about toString, and the second thing, so let me just add a star to value this up, so it can be seen a big. So it's like a title for these three lines. That's what it means. And let me just add another star and say to exponential, like so, to exponential. And the next thing is gonna be, let me just add another star and say it is to fix it. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do the same thing called demo dot inner HTML, which equals num dot to fix it of 0. So before having that, let me just give a floating variable like 10.23456.7. So now let me just what I have done, I have just used to fixed to 0. So to 0 means just omit all the variables, all the values next to the decimal point. That's what it means. If I just have 2, then it will just return the rounded off value of the first 2 decimal points, or it can also use 4 as well to have 4 values, or 6 to have 6 values. That's it. So mostly it is used as 2. So let me just leave it like that, and let me just comment this. just have a space here, so to differentiate that. And the next thing is gonna be to precision. So to precision also used to do the same thing. So let me just say as precision, sorry, an extra s here. So let me just say the demo dot inner html, which equals num dot to precision of. So you can see now it is the same as the original value. If I just have 2, it will just uh, it will just give the first 2 values. So if I just say 4, it gonna give the first 4 values. If I just wanna give 6, it will return the first 6 values. So that's what to precision means. So let me just leave it as 4 and comment this out. And the next method is all about the number method. The number method is used to convert any string to a number. Like, let me just say a star here and a number, and here I'm gonna say the demo. So let me just copy this instead of writing each and every time. So let me just leave it here like that, and give inner HTML of num dot. Sorry, we are not gonna use this num anymore. We will just convert this to a string now. So now here we have just converted the number to a string using the toString, and now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna leave it as number of str. So the string is uh, now going to be converted to a number using this number. So to see that, we just give a type of number. So you can see now this is a number now, but here it is a string, but using this number we have converted it to a number. That's what it means. So that's about a number. So we'll just comment this. And the next thing is going to be the next thing is going to be a parsent. So this is used to used to pass a string into an integer. So you can use a parsent of any string with as an integer. So this is a string inside, but if you just leave it for a parsent, let's just give a type of. So let me just close this. Now you can see this is a number now, but inside this it is a string. So we're gonna see the same thing. So let me just do this. Sorry, we don't need it for the third time. So another method is like a pass float. It will just pass float values if it is like a string. So this is a string value, but we want to just pass float. You can see now it has been passed to a number. So that's what pass float and passing means. But if you use number, we can do both of the things inside this as a string. So that's what it means. So let me just comment this as well as this, and do and just copy these things, paste it here, and instead of int I will give a float. So that's it. So now the next thing, so we have completed the number methods. These are all the number methods, like to string, to exponential to fixed to precision to number to pass in to pass float. That's all. So the next thing is gonna be, so let me just comment this thing also. See, so the next is about string. JavaScript strings are for storing and manipulating text. So you can also have any text like alphabets, numbers, or any special characters. A JavaScript string is 0 or more characters written inside quotes. Escape characters, we do have something called escape characters like a slash, a backslash, and a single quote, a double quote, a double backslash, or a backslash and a t. So we will explain this thing, and we do have string methods like slice, sorry, like slice, substring, sub. So here is a typo. It means sub str. Here it is like s or t. So here is a typo. Just assume it as a sub str. So the slice, substring, as well as sub str means the same thing. Nothing but the way when name is differs. That's it. All the three returns the same thing, and there is something called as replace. We will discuss about that also. And here is another topic called string search. String dot index of, last index of, starts with and ends with. We will be discussing about this thing also. So let me just dive into the code again. So let me just comment this number. We don't need that anymore. So let me just declare a string called string variable with name of string, which equals a name called John, like so. And then now we will just see the type of. So we will just copy this same thing. First we will just see the type of the string variable. So you can see now the type is all about string. So now what is the first method? So before seeing the first method, let me just we will see what these things means. Escape characters. So you can use a double quote or a single quote inside a string, whatever you can use. In JavaScript, you can use both double quotes as well as single quotes. But if you have a statement like this, like John study, John, like John's camera. So here you can use a single quote inside a double quote, or you can use a double quote inside a single quote. But if it is like this, if you use a single quote here, now the string is broken here, but my sentence has to be John's camera, but it has been broken till this, and it is now continuing from here. So we don't want it to be like that. For that, we will be using escape character like backslash and a backslash and a single quote. So you can see now. Let me just exclude this type of. So now you can see John's camera. So you can see now it is a single string. So that's what slash single quote means. And there is another escape character called slash double quotes, which could be used to display double quotes, as well as we do have other to use double dash. If you use a double slash, it is used to display a single slash. We do have another thing called backslash under t, which gives a tab space between but it should give a tab space here. This is because we are using it inside a h1 tag. If you just use a span tag, and just use the same thing here, but it should display, so we can just use a div tag, div tag. So it is not displayed here, so we'll just leave it as so here time space has to be present, so we couldn't see it in the HTML, but we may see it in the console. So let's just confirm that it is so guys. So guys, So guys, you can see that this slash tab didn't work here because in the inner HTML, these tags, this H1 tag will eliminate the extra tags, sorry, extra spaces. So you can see that inside the console log of, sorry, here we don't need to specify dot and console.log of string. So you can see here's a tab space. So this slash t is used to give horizontal tab. So if you just say as a slash t, sorry, slash v, it gives a vertical tab because it is also not displayed here because we couldn't display it here as well as here. If you use this slash v in any of the programming languages, it will be displayed over there. So there's another thing called slash n, which is used to give the value in the next line, but it is not here, but it is reflected here. You can just see this camera is in the next line because this slash n is used to open another line. It will just close this line and just say to this camera, go to the next line, like so. So that is what all about these escape characters. Um, so let me just on this out, and here I just want to say string escape characters. So these are all about escape characters. So these slash b is used to give a backspace. So we will just jump into the string methods like slice, substring, and substr and replace. So now we're gonna just see about, so whatever the error in JavaScript will be thrown in the console log. So you can see here is an error because this string variable is not defined. So I'm using it here. So that's why it shows an error. So now we will just say string methods, and the first method is gonna be slice. So now we will just declare a variable const name equals Manoj Kumar, which is my full name. So I'm just now going to slice it. So here I'm just going to say name dot slice. So the first you can see here the first value start is nothing but a number, and the end is also a number. These numbers are nothing but the index values of this Manoj. So if I just want to print this entire, instead of printing Manoj Kumar, I do need to print the, so we'll just remove this thing also. So instead of removing that, so we will just remove this needed. So instead of Manoj Kumar displaying here, I just need to display Manoj. So for that, so this m is in the 0th position. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and the j is in the 4th. So we will just say from 0 to 5. So you can see now Manoj is only displayed. So we just start from 0 like m, and we will end at 5, before 5. That's why I provided here 5, because the fifth value is nothing but the space. So we will finish before this 5. It's like 5 minus 1. That's where it ends. So it will just end in Manoj. That's all. And this is about slice. And the next thing is nothing but we will just say demo.inner HTML is equals, so we will just comment this thing out and say name dot substring of 0 to, so this time we will select this Kumar from here. We will select this Kumar. So to select this Kumar, this is in the 6th position and this is 7, 8, 9, 10. So here I have to say from 6 to 11. So you can see Kumar has been selected. So what if I leave it with just 6? It does nothing. It will just take from 6 to the end of the value. If like you just having something like this, it will also print that also. If I just give 11, it will just get Kumar only. So that's what it means. So it is the same thing what it does. So this sub str also does the same thing. The only difference between slice, substring as well as sub str is the name, because everything has the same value. So let me just comment this and you can see it starts with 6, so it prints everything. That's what it also means. So the next thing is gonna be replace. So demo.inner html equals name dot replace of so here it gets two parameters. The first thing is going to be Manoj, so it is the string what we want to select and we want to just replace it with Kumar. So we will refresh. It is not reflected because let me just give a underscore. So now you can see that Manoj has been replaced with Kumar. So that's what replaced does. That's all about replace. So that's what it is used to. We can replace anything with the help of replace. So if you can just say A, for A we will just be replacing here with Kumar, but for the first time only. So here also A appears. Why we didn't replace it with A? Because so if you do it here, you should also do it here, and it will just return another Kumar where we will be having another A, so it will go into an infinite loop. That's why A only one time it is done for the first placement. That's what it is does. So let me just comment this thing also. So this is nothing but a demonstration class. I'm just demonstrating each and every methods in string. That's what I'm doing here. So while developing the live project, we will just we will be using these things as basics to learn and do things there. So we do have many methods in strings. What you can do, you have to go yourself and learn in any websites, or and you have to practice it on your own. So JavaScript is like a ocean. You're just going to see a part of that. So the next thing is gonna be string search, where we will be having index of, last index of, starts with as well as ends with. So now we'll just use the same thing, but uncomment this and use last index of, we will use index of. So we have to remove this Kumar. So the first value A represents where it is first used. So it is used at the first position. That's what it has returned. So we can also return parameters here like we do have other parameters here for index of, that is nothing but, so that is nothing but a position of the number where it has to search. So if we want to find a, but we don't want it this a, I want this a inside this Kumar. So I can say that just start from this k. So to start from k, we have to provide this k index, which is nothing but 6. So we will provide here 6. So you can see it will start search from the 6th index. So A is at the 9th index. So that's what it means. That's what the index of does. So the next thing is gonna gonna be the last index of. So let me just say last index of. So it also has two parameters. First, let me just exclude this. So now last index of, what it does, it searches a from the last. From here, from F, it will go towards M. So that's what last index of does. So from here, the first appearance of A is at the 9th position. That's why it is returned 9. But if I just say start from 6, it will return as a 1. Sorry. So if I just say 6, it returns 1, because now it will start searching from this k, which is nothing but the 6th index. So from k it will go like this. So in this go, here is a, which is in the first position, so it returns 1. So the next thing is like starts with, so we will just say we will eliminate everything and say starts with, sorry, starts with it as a search string as well as a position. So we will just say a search string as e. First it says false at the beginning, so if we just give a position, so e is here, so it is like this is the 9th position and this is 10, 11, this is 12. So let me just say at the position 12 it is true. So what it does, it just slices this string out from the position 12. So what is the position 12 means? The e is present in this position of 12, so it will just create this thing as a separate string, and it will just see this string starts with the letter e. That's what it does. So if you just erase this 12 and give here as m, it will also say true, because this entire string starts with m. So the next thing is nothing but ends with, sorry, ends with, so ends with, so you can see this full thing doesn't ends with m, so it is written as false. So if you just say f, it returns as true. And you can also provide another start value. So that's what string ends with does. So we have also completed the string search. So that's all about a string. The next topic is all about arrays. So why do we need to use arrays? So array is a special variable which can hold more than one value. So consider this example where you are just declaring three car values, like car 1 is Saab, car 2 is Volvo, car 3 is BMW. Instead of doing that separately, you can just say const cars equals Saab, Volvo and BMW. So you can just create an array with array literal, that's nothing but inside a square bracket you can use item 1, item 2, anything you want. So array methods, we do have a lot of methods: to string, join, pop, push, shift, unshift, length, indexing, splice, concat, sort, and reverse. This length is also available for the string, which returns a length of the string. So we'll just go to the code, and here you can just copy this, and let me just remove this, and let me just say the length. So you can see it's now 21. The length of this monotone and this value is nothing but 21. So that's what name.length means. So now let me just close everything up. Let me just comment this also. So now we will just enter into array methods. The first thing is nothing but toString and join. So let me just declare a array using const. What I can just say the same thing as const cars, which equals Volvo and Tesla, as well as what I can say the other thing as Tata. So we do have 3 cars here already initialized in an array. So the first thing we are going to do is array.toString. So we'll just copy this, and we'll just paste it down here, and we can just say convert this to a car, name to a car, and remove this slashes, and instead of slice we will use toString. So what it does, it just converts the array into a string. That's what it does. So we do have another thing called join. So to demonstrate that, let me just copy this and remove this and say join. Sorry, it shows 0. So join, and replace it here the same thing, join, like so. And inside that we will just give a space. So you can see now every element of this array is joined with help of a space. That's what it does. So you can just leave an empty, so it will just put everything continuously. So that's what join does. So just copy this and comment this out. So the next thing is gonna be push. So what is array push? We are just going to push a value into this array. So let me just push it here. So here I'm just going to push a new car value called, what I'm gonna push, a new car name called OD. So like so, or a Benz. So we do need to do this separately. So let me just copy this and paste it here. So we will just eliminate this. Right, so now you can see that we do have the 4th value called Benz. So because we have pushed this Benz into this thing. So that's what push does. So we'll just do that again and comment this out, and the next thing is gonna be pop. So For pop, we don't have any values inside. Instead, pop just pops the last value out of the array. So we have removed Tata from the car. So that's what pop does. From the car, we have removed Tata. So that's what pop does. It removes the last value. So that's it about pop. So we will copy the same thing and paste it down again and again. So we need for another time. So let me just comment this. So and here I'm just going to say shift. So what the shift does, it just removes the first value of the, so we do have to comment this out. So you can see the value is the first value, so it just removes the first value. So that's what shift does. So let me just comment this also, and here we want to just say unshift and remove this. So you can see by unshifting we can just say another value called bends. So bends is added to the first value of this array. That's what unshift does. So let me just give a name here, unshift, like so. So that's all about array methods, and we do have other methods like length, which I have already explained, which just returns the length of the array. Indexing, we can slice out any values from the array, and splice, which is used to slice a part of the array, and just display it. So concat is used to join two arrays, and sort is used to sort an array, and reverse is used to reverse the sort in a descending order. That's what reverse is used. So objects, we can just declare objects like real life objects or properties or methods in JavaScript. For example, consider a real life, a car is an object, and a car has properties like weight, color, methods like start and stop. All cars have the same properties, but the property values differs from car to car. All cars have the same methods, but the methods are performed at different times. So you define a JavaScript object with an object literal. So the object literal here is nothing but a pair of curly braces. Inside that we have property which matches a value, property and a value, property and a value, a property and a value. So that's what object is declared for. So we can just say, so let me just comment this, because I'm just going to use the same name for here also. Here is nothing but objects. So here I'm just going to say const object, which equals a pair of curly braces. Inside that I'm just going to have a property called brand name, which equals, first thing is Volvo, and the next thing is brand name, and the next thing is model. We will just say V60, which is nothing but a model, and the next thing we're gonna say is engine type, engine. Here I'm just going to say 2499cc engine. So that's how we can just declare an object with the properties like this, and we can just have multiple values for multiple properties for an object. So here I don't want to be a string. Here I can just also have int number values also, like here I can just also say it as 2499, like so. And here I can just also have array as a value, like I can say 2499cc as well as 2499. So that's how. So that is what object means. So in JavaScript, objects name are also available in the object oriented theme, where we will be creating a class constructor. We have rest of the steps like methods also, but we don't want to cover class thing in JavaScript in this course, because in React we don't want to create classes, because we will be using hooks to do what class does. So I do need to talk also about versions in JavaScript, where the latest version is like ESMA 2018, but the standard name is called ES6, which is nothing but the latest version of JavaScript, which comprises of all the methods and things what I have covered till now. So I will just complete this lecture here, and we will start the next lecture with the operators and the if classes as well as the switch cases. So go ahead and practice whatever I have done in this lecture. So we will meet in the next one. Thank you.